The shelves are obviously meant for smaller people, and the plaques you can find on top of all three shelves confirms that, as they all display the word children. A few dolls, some simple ones, some very beautiful ones, sit here and there between the rows of books, along with paper windmills, tiny horses carved out of wood, and glass balls with shiny objects in it. Um, what can we read? What about the Babe Tales? Babe Tales, oh, na 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 na. This small leather-bound book called Santharian Babe Tales contains songs, poems, and short stories collected from all over Calareth, meant especially for very little children. Okay. A note at the first page of the book on Senny's Babe Tales informs you the dates of composition and actual authors are unknown, but they have survived in oral tradition for up to 200 or 300 years. About 50 years ago, an enterprising young Enthronian scribe who wasn't doing too well in the letter writing trade decided to begin collecting and editing some of these folk compositions. He published the resulting pamphlet, Babe Tales of Santharia, under the pseudonym of Auntie Sanny to attract female population, whom he hoped would buy and read the collection. Would you like to read a babe tale? There's the bird sonnet, the fisherette, the dogrim, and the dragon. Yeah, sure. Bird sonnet, collected by Rain Evolutus. What? Okay. All the birds of the Santharian land come in many a color, shape, and size. No matter the species, they're simply grand. To see one of any kind is a prize. The beautiful kulos with dark blue crowns, and the banded rico of the seashore, the psitta mimicking another sounds, the blue glittra of mysterious lore. There's the Halloween whose bright feathers sail, and the shadow of death, the dark night bird, the phoenix of many mystical tales, and the howler goose so easily heard. The Tanish, not glorious as the rest, belongs to Ava, and thus too is blessed. The fisherette. Why are these all poems? Sailing in a spiral shell, with hooks of mithril bright, goes the ragged fisherette from dawn to noon to night. Cobweb sails by willow copse were woven all forlorn, filled with sighs of silver air from Groddar's silver horn. Fisherette knows naught of love, nor hate in heart can hold, but wistful caught between the two, his simple soul runs cold. Bait of fly and coral row upon his lines his trails, waiting for a foolish bite as ever on he sails. Ragged wistful fisherette, whither do you fly? Out before the northeast wind, upon a noon blue sky, out of time and out of light, upon a noon blue sky. It sounds more like a song than a tale. Oh yeah, by the way, the Tale of the Rat was collected by um, Bart Judith. Ah, so it really is a song. And this one was collected by Lucerina Taylor V1, Dogrim and the Dragon. Be quiet, child, and listen well, for now a little tale I'll tell of a dim-wit mage that had no fear. Sit down and soon you will hear how this tale so mystical ended up as pretty whimsical. Dogrim Mage was a powerful one, respected and feared by nearly everyone. Many a marvel came from his hands, he was known in many far-off lands. Power he had, and was certainly fit, unfortunately lacking completely in wit. Dogrim strolled in the forest one day, saw a flash of colors like a sunshine ray. Driven by a big curiosity, a dim-wit mage went to see what magic hid between the trees, and holy ghost, this is what he sees. A dragon curled up in its sleep, and from it wasn't heard a meep. Now any man with half a brain would not in this place remain. Slowly he would turn around, walk a bit then away bound. But Dogrim was not quite as wise. He approached the dragon despite that it was a ferocious beast. Dogrim thought that he, at least, could this great lord of skies defy, tame it, and with it he could fly. Dogrim did what dimwits do best, walked over to the beast at rest, grabbed the dragon by its tail, pulled hard and started to wail. Mysterious formulas of sorcery, when the most sane thing is flee. For now the dragon was fully awake. It yawned and then tried to shake, but felt a tugging at its rear, and then it also came to hear how Dogrim tried to cast a spell. That unfortunately didn't work too well. The dragon growled, Dogrim howled, a giant paw the air plowed, hit the mage on its head, and from that day instead, Dogrim the Great was Dogrim the Dead. So now, my child, you can see that from a dragon you'd better flee, and for since that day the dragons said, humans are good only when dead. Learn a little from my tale, never pull a dragon by its tail. That was a bit silly. He put Aunt Sandy's babe tales back into the bookshelf. The Santhalan Bedtime Stories is the perfect book for Santharia's adventurous little ones, or more precisely for their mommies and daddies, who are supposed to read them in front of their children to make sure that they have a good night's sleep. The contents of the Santhalan Bedtime Stories edition were collected by the brothers Krumark and Turdolf Amaring from New Santhala, whom put most commonly known children's tales of the Remembrance Ring area together in one single volume, a treasure no household with kids should miss. The Santhalan Bedtime Stories are short, but sweet, and provide light entertainment the youngest are so fond of. Would you like to read a story? The Room Runner by Alice the Likely. Once upon a time, very long ago, there was a little village nestled by the foothills of the southern rim called Onwit. And in that town there was a family that bred hunting dogs. It happened one day that a pup was born, the smallest of the litter, and what a sight was he! short